Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. Next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. First match, Group B. We have, I've read the comments, right, in the community tab, predictions. This is basically a story of David versus Goliath, right? We have the winner of last year being the upper part as in, Dragon Rulers, Light and Darkness Dragon Rulers, a decklist from, I believe it was from the World Championship back in 2013, so that's pretty much almost 10 years ago. It's going to take on the underdog, obviously. GB decklist will be shown within the next couple of moments, but and as I've read through the comments and looking at the predictions, before this particular matchup, I could definitely agree with seeing that stuff like, the Dragon Rulers as a whole, as an engine, especially with the small baby rulers, super rejuvenation, stuff like Gold Sarcophagus, the Mystical Space Typhoon and the side deck, those are all superb answers against one of the MVPs from this particular deck, even though it's in the side deck, being Oppression. Oppression is definitely a card that could give Gladiator Beast the at least a small advantage in this particular matchup. The deck goes second though, and that's a problem, because Gladiator Beast, especially with the opening rule of opening with 6 cards, so as in the first player draws, that's a bummer, because GB again is somewhat of an anti-meta, trap-heavy deck, almost stun-based deck. Opening 3 Prismas definitely doesn't help. Prisma is a cost, right, for sending. And yeah, I was about to say, both Veiler and Maxi are obviously superb, one of the best hand traps, especially back in 2013, in the mirror match of Dragon Rulers and against Spellbooks. I'm looking at Veiler mainly, but both of them are superb against GB as well. Prisma is, back then, was that the first time that Prisma was being used? Outside of, like heroes, I'm not so sure about hero decks, Little City, Big City, stuff like that. But, sending Bestiari or Laquari from your deck to the graveyard and potentially following it up with Test Tiger and maybe put your opponent or both you and your opponent under Cold Wave, that's fantastic. That's superb. Again, blocking, making a big Gazaros play, maybe going for Heraclinos after that. That was superb. Problem here now is the thing with GB, or if you know that your opponent is playing GB, you don't really want to put monsters in defense. The thing is that with Dragon Rulers, the engine is so powerful and it grinds or gives so much free advantage that it basically doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay, so game number 2, both side deck, and we side decked in one of the side deck cards being Oppression. Another side deck tool, which was, I was about to say popular back then, but that's not the case. But back then was a cool deck was Pole Position. Pole Position is a card that sometimes, it's getting, attention because of the loops. The card was kind of known for, stuff like Snatch Steal equipped to the most powerful monster on field, which caused a loop and stuff like that, right? So people, at least when people speak about Pole Position, it's not really in a positive way. But then again, like Pole Position protects the strongest monster, the monster with the highest attack on field, from being, targeted or unaffected by spells. I believe it's something like that. It should be something like that. Has been years last that I played Pole Position. Anyway, so this was a biggie. Like again, Maxi on Premature Burial, again hurts. Obviously, you're giving your opponent a couple of cards. Obviously, you're giving them more answers to draw into Veiler, and Veiler on Gazaros is super deadly. Not able to, at least not able to pop 2, and not being able to tag out is such a disgusting move. So 2-0 behind. Okay, let's see, what can we do? This is much stronger. No Typhoon this time, even though the ruler deck is side decking 3 Typhoon, one Heavy Storm in the main deck, and of course Decrees. Yeah, one of them. No, we don't know. But here in the replay we saw that one of them is indeed Decree, and I guess this was okay, forcing out Breakthrough skill on Reaper. Reaper will not get destroyed, even though it's targeted by a card effect, Reaper's effect is negated. Worst case scenario, it is, at least this indeed was a Royal Decree, so that would, force out my Solemn Judgment here in this case. I draw Crush card, and that's kind of fantastic now, because again, Dragon Rulers is with its back against the wall. Sure, they top deck Typhoon, but for now there is not really a play ready. And drawing DD Crow actually, again, could come in clutch, simply because looking at their graveyard, I think there is only one, is it Redux? I think it's Redux in the graveyard. The small Wind Dragon Ruler is there, and then one Blaster in hand. And of course, another smaller baby being drawn. So obviously here, I try to oppression that special summon. And again, this is the move that I talked about before. DD Crowing the other ruler. No search effect, because again, their effects are once per turn. And this should be more than enough, even though I get Mexeeds. Prisma, this was so good about Prisma. Again, setting the cards, Contact Fusion, not giving your opponent the potential info that you said Bestiary or something like that. Darius reborning any GB, and normal summoning Stratos, and this should be more than enough to attack for a game. So whew, we won one. So let's see, can we take it, or can we get at least another win? Problem, go second. And again, the Secutor, like how many duels did we open Secutor? Secutor, it's one of those cards that back in the day you never wanted to main deck, but you just had to, just in case, because of a potential Test Tiger play, and stuff like your opponent not having a monster or a monster in defense position. Like here in this case, again, you can capitalize on that with Secutor, and like this back in the day was one of the best plays that they could offer. Secutor attacking into one of the monsters, and then tagging out, special summoning 2 from deck. That tutors Heraclinos, that gives you pops with Murmelo, Bestiary, the Gazarus play. So this was a superb comeback play. If it wasn't for a Spell and Trap Destruction card. Imagine no Heavy Storm. Ooh, that oppression though. I mean, what is it? This is the match number 4. I think I drew oppression in most of my duels, so I'm honest. But yeah, sadly wasn't able to pull this one, so lose this one. Big Eye gaining control of Gazarus, and all the other Dragon Rulers are attacking for a game. So it's kind of expected, right? As I mentioned before, this basically felt, I'm honest, a David versus Goliath match. But like in all honesty, I mean, most of the matches up until now were, 3-2, so that kind of means that all of their power levels are kind of very similar, but it's not always the case, and will not always be the case. But I think that's okay. You see that in other tournaments, in sports, etc. So I think that's okay. So anyway, Rulers 3 points, Gladiator Beast 1 point. Next matchup. We have a deck list that's, not a deck list, but a deck that's returning, being Exceed Infernities. Small different list compared to the list we used in the past, being Sehabi's list. Its list is kind of different. It's going to take on, Metal Foes, Master Rule, 3 Pendulum. So that's nice. Let's, again, feel free to leave your predictions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks so much. Feel free to leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Big up, signing out. Peace.